And welcome to another edition of your favorite sports program, Sports Wrap. Today is the 23rd of November, 2023. 23rd of November, 2023. This is edition number 454, 454. Sports Wrap again every Thursday evening, 6 o'clock on the Champion Station. With me is Lambert Charles on the console. I haven't seen Lockett Sebastian yet, and we haven't seen Lobby yet from overseas. So, welcome to our legion of fans around the world, with Dominic, of course, and around the world. So many people really locked into the program at this time and express their appreciation for the program and what it does for them. Well, I guess I will not say I told you so, but it's now in the record books. Australia, the kangaroo conquerors. You know they were called the kangaroo conquerors? The men from the kangaroo country. Australia have won the coveted Cricket ICC Men's World Cup for the sixth time. Sixth time, congratulations to Australia, and my commiserations to those who were not back in Australia. So here it is for 6 times out of 13 World Cups. The Cricket World Cup first began in 1975 with the Great West Indies team under the great Clive Lloyd winning the first match. Australia were in the finals. Australia has been in 9 finals, and I repeat, have won 6 times, the 6th World Cup out of 9 finals. And total World Cups played 13. They said the very first World Cup, then called the Prudential World Cup, was won by the West Indies under the great Clive Lloyd, and of West Indies repeated that victory in 1979 with under Richards. I think it was Richards scored a brilliant century in the final of that 79 World Cup. Then West Indies has declined steadily to the point of almost being in oblivion now, and they cannot even make the final 10 to play the World Cup, from champions to nothing. So it's very, very poor on the West Indies side. Someday they might be able to come back, but it doesn't look so at all. If you look around and see the prospects, they're not looking very good at this time, but so it is. Once again, congratulations to the Aussies, the Kangaroo Conquerors, the 6th World Cup, and what a World Cup it was. A team that started very shakily. They lost the first 2 games. They looked like a team, as I said, I remember the comment I made, it looked like a team that should be happier on the beach than playing cricket at the time. They didn't look like Australia at all. They dropped many catches. The fielding was lackluster. The batting was inept. That was not Australia. Something was wrong. Even the second game against South Africa, they lost badly again. So it was only on the third game against Sri Lanka, they looked a bit like Australia. And they went on, never looking back. Against Afghanistan, they had this brilliant rescue act from our friend Maxwell, with that great, probably the single most outstanding performance in the entire World Cup, that double century from Maxwell, which saw Australia going from 98 for 7 to 290 odd for 7 and win that match. And in the finals on Sunday, Australia won the toss and put in India to bat. People said, well, what is Oscar Cummins doing? Putting India to bat on a nice wicket, big stadium, Ahmedabad holding about 130,000 people. And it turned out it was the correct decision. But we'll go into that in more detail. So just to say once again that the man of the tournament was Kohli with his number of runs. He scored well over 700 runs and deserved it. But the man of the final was Travis Head. Australia were 47-3. They were in a bit of bother, and they had to score something like 241 to win, and they were 47-3. Smith was the last man out. Smith actually was not really out. He was given out LBW, but the replays showed that had he called for the referral, the ball impacted him just outside the off stump. He was playing a stroke. He could not, by the laws of cricket, be given out. Had he, in fact, referred it to the DRS system, he would have retained. So that was very, very serious. But Labuschagne joined Travis Head, and they had a partnership of 192, and just took the match away from Australia, from India. In the end, they won emphatically by 6 wickets. So Australia, once again, proving to be the champions. Remember, they won the Test Championship as well. They beat India badly at the Oval in England, neutral ground, just about, in June. They beat them in the Test match. Australia did, and they retained the Ashes, and they have won the 6th World Cup. So Australia really going down in history as I would say, the winningest team ever in cricket. But I guess we'll go into more detail later on. And in more cricket news, of course, we have the team for the West Indies being selected to meet Englishmen to play 3 ODIs and 5, I think, T20Is. And a lot of criticism being leveled at the selection, or the omission, I should say, rather, of Bravo. I wonder how our good friend Maynard in St. Kitts, Mr. Maynard, Eustace Maynard, I wonder how he's feeling now. Bravo scoring so many runs, not only in this tournament, but last year's tournament, and being left out. We'll look into that as well. I think, I think Darren Bravo got a real rough deal from Haynes. Haynes may be a good cricketer, great cricketer maybe, wonderful human being maybe, but I can tell you, I have low marks for Haynes as a selector. I've said so before, say it again. Say nothing against, I love Haynes. He's a great batsman, great cricketer. I think he should be the batting coach and not a selector. Right. Now we have the West Indies A team, I think, out in South Africa, also playing in South Africa. So there's a lot of cricket taking place. And let me see. Just look around a bit. Let me just go to tennis a bit. Tennis, Novak Djokovic, once again proving to be the champion tennis player in the world, and undoubtedly the greatest tennis player of all time, at least male tennis player of all time. Novak won the ATP Nitto Finals in Turin last Sunday, and along the way, he beat Sinner. And in fact, Sinner was in the championship match. He beat Sinner in 2 straight sets, having beaten Alcaraz the day before in the semifinals. So Alcaraz in the semifinals and then Sinner in the finals. Although he lost to Sinner, a very close match in a 3-setter match. It's the year ATP finals. Is every year the top 8 tennis players play in 2 groups, and I can give you the 8 who made it, the top 8: Novak, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Sinner, Tsitsipas, Rune, Rublev, Zverev. Just to repeat again, the top 8 ranked ATP players: Novak, Alcaraz, Medvedev as 3, Sinner 4, Tsitsipas 5, Rune of Denmark 6, Rublev and Zverev. So Novak, he has won his 98th match title, so 98. Ahead of Novak are Federer and Connors. Federer has 103 career titles, 100 not matches, no titles. You can imagine that. And Connors won 15 titles. And here is Novak with 98 titles, including 24 Grand Slams, or 35 Masters, and a string of victories. So for this year has been probably, Novak agreed that this year must have been one of his best years ever in tennis. At age 36, he continues to dominate all the younger guys, beating them. And when it really comes to the crunch matches, Novak still shows he's still the number one tennis player. And most people think probably the best ever of all time. So Sinner gave him a good run in the group match, but in the championship match, he dominated Sinner and won quite easily in 2 sets. So a great year for Novak. He won 3 Grand Slams. I remember he's done it about 3 times, or at least twice, what they call very close to doing the calendar Grand Slam, to win all 4 Grand Slams for the year. He's come very close. He's won 3 Grand Slams, lost only to Alcaraz in the Wimbledon championships. And of course, football fans, Dominica won 2 games, and Dominica doing pretty well in football. And we have, of course, the Bravo omission. I'm sure Lockhart Sebastian will want to comment on that. And Mr. Mill, I'm sure if he's listening, will be wondering what will Bravo have to do again, as is Darren Bravo, for him to regain his pick on the West Indies team. Right, so Lockhart has joined me. Lockhart, welcome. My commiserations that India could not make it on the big day.
Good night, you have to commiserate to be in the West Indies. As I said, I expected India to win. If they don't win,
sorry.
So
Yes.
West Indies.
Yeah.
But first let us say we have a lot of fans in North America, and today is Thanksgiving, so we want to congratulate them, and I'm sure that they're eating turkey. In Dominica, some people next month will be getting turkey in the middle of the night.
Yes,
they'll be distributing here close to Christmas, as you know, Ozzy.
Yeah,
certain people will be getting, not everybody.
But
the people in the States, I guess they're enjoying their Thanksgiving again. So we have to congratulate them. But of the first thing, you heard about the lights again, right?
Oh, yeah, well, they took my lights today.
No, that kind of lights.
Yes.
But
the lights come in the
you heard about it.
Yes, heard about it.
You remember right here on this program, I spoke about the lights.
Definitely.
And I was very skeptical from the start.
Something wrong was unequivocal about it.
Something wrong was going on.
You said so very clearly.
All the time, and I didn't want
very
to go
wrong.
into it. Something wrong was going on.
Yeah.
They gave a man a contract of 2.5 million. What we hear now is what he did cannot be used.
Cannot be used. The alignment of the base with the fixtures, some cocoa maca.
Exactly.
Some bloody blunder.
$2.5 million of the state's money
I remember you
has
said
gone down the drain.
Very clearly.
Has gone down the drain.
Down the drain.
And then the head honcho comes down and say, workers is suspended.
Suspend work.
Now, anybody for bring know what suspend means. Now, let me tell you, Ozzy. We're not hearing lies all about Ozzy. What I would like to ask the authorities, is it true that a contract was signed last week or week before with Onum Canada?
Yes.
Onum Canada. Yeah. Is it true? They can answer if it's not true. Let's say it's not true that a contract was signed for a hefty sum.
Last month.
Last 2 weeks.
September.
September, last week or week before. I'm talking about November.
Okay, yes.
With Anom Canada for a hefty sum.
Yes.
And they're apparently trying to look for the money now. And this thing is a whole cocoa, as you use the word cocoa maca.
Yeah, it's a scandal.
A big scandal. And
I remember you said so categorically.
From the start, when I heard who was giving the contract,
I
said, wait, no, something not right there.
Yeah.
And people must ask questions about that. The state's money cannot be used like that.
Frittering away the money.
We're going and no explanation.
Yeah.
A man come, even on TV, I didn't even know they had a press conference.
Yes.
I just have to listen to it this morning, and I'm hearing about this lights thing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, but wait now. Something that
work has been suspended.
Yeah.
And you have this big 2020 cricket tournament.
The World Cup starts on June the 4th.
Dominica has about 2 matches.
Well, I don't know the fixture that haven't come up, but June the 4th, which is just now.
Yeah.
No, work hasn't started on the new thing now. So we don't even know. We need explanation. It cannot be we don't hear a flippant thing like work suspended. Nobody gives explanation about the money that was used And who was the engineer? Nothing like
The
that.
money that was misused.
Misused, exactly, or maybe stolen. Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows?
Yes.
We don't know if it was stolen, but who knows?
Yeah.
And I just find people are sitting down
Yeah.
and accepting this crap just like that. And it looked like people enjoying that thing in Dominica.
Yeah. You're quite right.
Yeah,
Dr.
people
Curtis.
and I have always spoken about it, and I was very from the
You're
start.
very unequivocally clear. I know it very well when you said
about this
so.
lighting
You knew
from
the
the start.
individual.
Yeah.
You knew he was not competent. You knew there was something wrong about. You said so.
But how could they give
You
a
had
guy a
you had
contract?
your misgivings about it from
I
the
mean, I didn't want
inception.
to, from the start when I
Yeah.
heard who was giving it, I said, no, man,
Yeah.
something not right there. Somebody playing the fool,
Yeah.
or bodies playing the fool. And then we
And
hear
here it is, the money.
technical problems.
The,
look at the
suspend, the
garbage.
base can the fixtures, the alignment is wrong.
Huh?
So as you start from scratch again. What's that effect?
And which real country that
Fixtures
happens?
and the base,
Yeah.
not aligned.
No, but if you're going to do a project like
Yes.
that, from the start, everybody must know what
Yeah.
is supposed to be done.
Exactly.
So it cannot be you give a guy, he does his nonsense,
Yeah.
or didn't do, or couldn't do,
Or could not
could
do.
not do, gets money, whatever, and then the work that he did is useless now.
Yeah, there's a waste.
Waste, so
Yes,
money goes down the drain like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in a poor country.
Millions,
Some people might be rich,
Yeah.
but Dominica, we have to be honest, Dominica is not a rich country.
Yeah.
But millions of dollars just going down like that, and no proper explanation, and everybody's quiet. And while you're on that, I have to ask you this question. I hear this talk about so much money being spent on lawyers. I had this big controversy.
My, that's shocking, man.
No, very shocking. But also that is
10 million.
But that is not my main focus with this thing, My point, you as a lawyer, a magistrate, a former magistrate, good magistrate at that, who probably they didn't like what you're doing, and that's why they didn't renew. But what I am saying, how does a man who was charged with others no, the DPP doesn't, let's say, well, we withdraw the charge, nothing.
Yeah.
And he crosses the floor,
Yeah.
and then he has no charge. And the other people have to be going to court paying lawyers.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean,
Yeah.
how does that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, Mosopia was charged like Edison James and Leonard Clinton and
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
else.
Yes.
And then now he crosses the floor, and then
Yes.
no charge.
Nothing.
Is that
everything-
right?
Yes. It's withdrawn against him.
Withdrawn.
Yes, yes.
So what you telling me?
And the others are being persecuted.
All the time,
Yeah,
they have to be
yeah.
spending money on lawyers. They're going, wasting their time. A person like Edison James has to leave married at
And
an
when you're
age.
rich, they tell you the magistrate is on leave.
On
That
some
is
nonsense, like-
you know.
I mean, at the man's age, have to be coming
Yeah,
up
and
to
come
road.
to road. When you're rich, the court, they tell you the magistrate is on leave.
Oh,
So they couldn't say that before.
exactly.
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
as a punishment, that's bad,
but
man.
you're a good point, because this is not a 20-year-old man. This
Yes.
is a man in 80s.
The 80-year-old man.
You have to have respect a former prime minister.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
make
yeah.
him leave his home,
Yeah.
and then he comes there, and then
No
he's
magistrate.
told, no magistrate, and another guy now that was charged, enjoying like telling people you
Yeah.
in the house, you on a roll, keep talking. No, the
No,
guys
you're
in the
on
house
a roll.
tell you on a roll, talk like Pale sort.
Yeah.
I mean, what we have in Dominica, man, and everybody just quiet.
Look at why things are bad.
Dominica is badly governed, and
Yeah,
people are just going about their business like nothing is happening.
It's getting much worse, you know.
It's worse. I mean, how bad can it get?
Yeah.
Where we going, but I mean, my
When I heard about this lighting business being suspended, wherever you right away.
right, yes.
Because you were so adamant about that.
Because I did not, as I said, they didn't know the approach. This morning I'm driving, I'm listening. I said, let me tune to DBS.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that. I say, but where? That's how people do things.
Yeah.
So you just take the state's money, give it to who you want,
Yeah.
do their nonsense, and it just finish.
I
It
say, that's
finish,
it. Move on to the next.
Move on to the next.
Yeah,
We finish.
Yeah.
And everybody quiet. Nobody says anything. Boy. We are really in trouble. And also, well, you don't drive often. Again, you don't live. You haven't seen what.
I'm hearing about the road, yes.
No, forget the road. The Pottersville Savannah now, Ozzy. 1/3 of the Savannah now have been concreted, They put a fence in the field.
The playing field.
Playing field now. If you go to
Yes.
Port, people are passing there every day. They start concreting the
Oh,
field.
boy. Yes.
So 1/3 of the field has been used now. They put a fence, and nobody knows what they're going to do there. We already have a shortage of playing fields around
Yes,
Roseau.
yes.
You know the Windsor Park people
And that
come
field has
play.
produced some great cricketers, you know,
And footballers.
and footballers.
And footballers.
Yes.
So it's now concrete in Aussie.
Yeah.
And no explanation.
What? And you already haven't got fields.
You haven't got field. In fact, when I
Yeah.
saw that one
around the city or the
what
town.
we have a let's take the caller. We come back to that.
Yes. Hello, caller.
Good evening,
gentlemen. Sibo must be the Chinese living quarter. Maybe that's going to be down there.
You mean by the middle of the road like that?
For the school, maybe
No, but no. I thought they said the quarters is by where central housing used to be. But this is in the plain field, you know, the concrete now.
Yes, my man come then you telling me I haven't seen it myself because I passed there. I went to Dublin one day. It was there for the funeral couple. When I was coming along, I didn't observe that. But it was darkness because there was no light in the area, so we didn't observe that. Then my husband tell me about it. See what we live in our country.
Yeah,
We don't know if we go in. We don't know if we come in. We just the man that run in the country. I run things, will boss, and we just, as you say, people just taking it as it is. I mean, that is nonsense. We can't be in our country and things happening like that, and everybody just said, "What?" Just put it up their hand. What can I do? I looking at children fighting in that street there. What date was there today? And man choking man with whatever he had in his hand. Grammar school little boys fighting with one another. See, if I was the principal of that school, I not suspend. How you calling the other one when you
Expel.
I would expel everybody that was on the spot there. That was on that spot there. Because you could hear them telling the boy, prick him, hold him down. I said, what is going on? The country they have it, I get this over there, and even the children know that they're so late. See, but we're in a serious situation in that country. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, as going back to that field has produced a lot of outstanding sportsmen. We have a caller because this thing is
Augusta's great. Well, it's
hello. And you know, as this is a sports program, we have to, because this is serious,
Yeah.
because no explanation is given. Yeah. Now, when you concrete something, you know what happens. It's going to stay like that. And almost half the field is taken.
And if it is small already.
Oh, yes, if you see,
a very small field.
If you were driving out, you go down, people who go down the coast, you see that.
Yeah.
The field is being, and not a heavy concrete, you know. It's at high, they dug first, and now they're concreting, you know. We have a good night. Good night. Yes, sir.
Remember, what Virginia Charles do? She put a business person in a stadium, you know.
Well,
Virginia Charles.
Well, you're right. That happened too.
What's happening? Everybody doesn't know what they want. You put in a business person in a stadium that built already. After all, man.
Well, yeah, okay. But you know, also this thing hurts me because you remember we said when they were building that school, giving people a state-of-the-art playing field. It's right there on the main road. People can see. So you want something nice, so the children can play because they have enough space up there to build a school. Plenty space up there. You come in now on the playing field and you are concreting at least 1/3 of the playing field. They dug, you know. In fact, when I saw them digging, I called. I'll tell you, I called Emmanuel Nanton and asked him, but boss, what is going on there? I mean. So he tell me himself don't know. Then after things like so, then now I'm seeing them concreted. And if you see the thickness of this thing, I mean, no man. I mean, we can't be living in a country like that. We already yes, Lobby. Hey, Lobby, yeah, go ahead.
Sebastian, gentlemen.
Lobby.
Sebastian,
yeah.
Are you surprised? Look at the grammar school ground. What happened to the grammar school ground?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not learning. Okay, we saw what they did. But
listen to me again, Sebastian. What happened? You and me, they say, look, you have sports right there. What happened to the sportsmen in Pottersville? Are they all drinking?
No, that's a good point, you know. That's a good point. The sports people in Pottersville must come and stand up, do something.
Do some protest.
Protest. I mean, you are right. The sports people, and plenty of them there.
There's so many sports people from that area.
In cricket, in football, basketball.
Yeah.
People like Plastic Lip right there.
Right.
Fletcher, his son. Yeah. A lot of sportsmen, Lobby, you're right. Pottersville people, what are you all doing? People must not just sit down in a country and accepting anything like that.
What's the Botanic Gardens? Look for that.
Look at that. Put a bowling alley now.
Bowling
in the Botanic Gardens. A bowling alley.
things are just
Boy,
haywire
boy,
now.
things-
Yes, hello?
You
Hello?
should call Jarbone and ask him what he think of that.
Well,
that,
well,
that
you-
is area, that is where he used to play, that is where he used to go to school in that area there. Call Jarbone and ask him what he think of that.
Well, you know, even this guy that just be a jolly guy, he said they should use Pottersville and Newtown
Andy Jolly.
as a parking spot, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
He spoke a nonsense again. I mean, I don't like to say everybody have their views,
Yeah.
but to me, that is a nonsense.
It's
So you say,
radical.
use the Pottersville, Sabina, and Newtown
Parking.
for parking.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but also a lot of these guys to sing their supper, you know. I stumbled, I was going to the funeral on Tuesday, Cuthbert Joseph, and I had the radio on, and apparently he was on again on Talk on the Block. And when he was asked about with all the ills, don't you think you need a change of administration and solve the problem? He was very hesitant and he did not
Not coming out at
He's
all.
not coming out.
Yes.
So I say, you see these guys,
Yeah.
all these guys just looking for themselves. And these are the same people that say about people afraid to talk, you know. But you have a situation where you should open your mouth and you're
come out with
quiet
it, yes,
and
yes.
you're talking about, well, no, I don't think a change of administration will solve the
He was hesitant about that question.
but he didn't answer. In fact, he said he didn't think. He didn't think it would solve the problem.
I'm surprised.
No. So, you know, I turn off after and I say,
yeah.
you know, I don't want to listen to this guy at all.
Yeah.
Because from the time he spoke about the playing field and then now, so I say, all these people, all they're concerned about is their pocket. That is all.
We have another caller.
Yes,
1 minute, Lobby, we have a
That's what I
caller.
love.
Good night.
Hello?
Good night. Hi, good night. I will end with a question, but first, when the first thing I saw on the Potterville Savannah was several loads of soil that were brought in,
Right.
and I wondered what it was for. Subsequently, it was spread over the field, and then it was fenced, and then there was a layer of concrete put on it. And I wondered what it was, but in my view, I would ask the question, well, isn't that temporary holding for the construction? And maybe eventually it will be dug out and the field will be restored. That's what I thought.
But so, don't you think somebody should give an explanation, caller?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose, but that was my line of thought. I would never think that they were doing something permanent on a quarter of the field.
Well, what I would say to you, Dominica, our temporary becomes permanent, you know, sir. In fact, I'll tell you, they just did a bypass on the main road on the Savannah. Now look, I see they try to concrete it. So temporary becomes permanent in Dominica.
Yeah, well, but the Chinese usually reside where they work. So I don't know. I just thought it was temporary Chinese residents. That's what I thought.
No. I just said they put in their residence closer to where central housing was. So that's what I'm saying. It cannot be that there. And if you notice, they've used almost 1/3 of the field. Have you noticed that?
The what? Repeat that?
They have used almost 1/3 of the field to do the concreting. Have you noticed it?
I don't. I mean, about 1/3 to a quarter. I don't know.
Right, more than a
I
quarter
just
for
thought it was,
sure.
but as they put the soil over first and then put the concrete, I figured there was no recovery of real foundation, so it can't be anything that's permanent. That's my humble view. I don't know.
Well, but somebody must say something. I mean, we can't live in a country like that where things are happening and we don't know.
There's a guess and surmise.
Exactly. You
should
can
know.
always, exactly. Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
Thank you.
Right.
Lobby, we have another caller. 1 minute.
Just now, yeah.
Okay, go on, Lobby. Make your point. Go ahead.
Yes. Just to make the caller understand, Sebastian. You said temporary become permanent. You should take a walk the link road and look at the grammar school playing field. This is a perfect example.
What
of what
grammar school
become
have a playing
temporary
field
becomes
now?
permanent.
There's no more
Grammar
field.
school have another field.
No field at all.
We have another
Now,
caller.
Sibo.
Dr. Lobby, hold on. Good night. Good night, caller.
Hello, Sibo and Ozzy.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
And to your listeners.
Yeah.
That thing about the Potterville Savannah is so interesting. I think it is something that people need to talk about because I went to a funeral there some time ago and the place was so jam-packed with vehicles that a lot of us had to park on the playing field. I went there to another funeral, and when I get in there, I realized you couldn't enter because the layer of soil was placed there and the entrance was blocked. When I passed through there, I saw this layer of concrete, and I'm saying, what is happening on the playing field? Because I remember at some point there were some people talking of certain things that I think even when the Calypso, something was being held there, there was a group of persons talking about it and objecting. I'm not hearing them now. I don't know where they are and what they're doing, what they're thinking. I want to commend you all because Dominica is badly governed, and the people can't be governed in that way and sit there and say nothing. Right when they finish with us, we'll have nothing to fall back on. We'll be a struggling poor country caused by some people. Because things are happening in the country and nobody explains. Where is the Minister of Sports to tell the nation what is happening there? Where is the sports coordinator? Because it's a playing field where people played and so forth. And I can understand if the Chinese come to build school, rent houses, give people money, put money in the economy. When you had the Taiwanese here, they used to put money in the economy, they rent your home and so forth, and they pay you. These guys come and they want to build all kind of quarters and raise their peaks and all these things in this thing. What kind of countries that we are living in? I am very, very disappointed and ashamed of how we have become after our independence.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlo.
And this thing has really irked me because this is a sports field. We all play sports, Ozzy. We have a sports program, and we want to see our young people play sport. You're going to put a school, lovely. We applaud that. We want to see that. If you just set up there at school, but my God, give them a lovely playing field. So you have well-rounded students now.
Indeed.
You have well-rounded students. As you say, so many outstanding sportsmen came from that area. Do something, Portersville guides, say something. I can't believe you are waiting because it's close to Christmas to get all you cool out too. You're all afraid to talk. Say something. Yes, Lobby.
You have to understand, you're in Dominica, you know. I'm getting what happens, Sibo. Siwo is the order of the day. You don't care about sports anymore. Siwo. Now, let me tell you, Sebastian, I have to ask you something about Thanksgiving. I'm in this little get-together there. And I want to say something there before I leave. It has to do with the cricket. Before I leave, I don't just say something on the cricket, the final, before I leave.
Oh, you won't be in for the rest of the program?
Yeah,
You won't be for the rest of the program?
Yeah, rest of the program. So you were, I'm going to say, you were overconfident with the strength of India. But one thing you have to understand is this, Sibo. As I'm always saying, we lost at 169 runs. Catches win matches. And I look at the Australians, how they were bowling. And to me, they were bowling to a plan. And they knew that these guys would be going for a hell of a start. But they knew exactly how they have to bowl. And what had turned the game was this diving catch. This diving catch, Ozzy, to me.
Travis Head catch as a catch of the century.
And I cannot understand with that.
It's not one today again. Australia brilliant catch in the match against India today. You didn't see the cricket today?
No, I didn't see him.
Australia played India today, the first T20.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't know they were playing?
No.
Yeah, it's all at 9:30.
T20.
They have 5 T20s. They have one on Sunday again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at
9 o'clock.
9:30. You finish around.
In case the lights went.
Oh, so you didn't know. Yeah, but the first one of today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. But I can tell you, Travis Head catch talking about.
But
to me,
they were going to the brilliant one like Australia. Hardly or what it means.
Ozzy, I was shocked.
I'll catch
as he was talking about the quality of bowling. But this man, 137 runs. That was unbelievable.
Boy, Travis Head.
I can't believe it.
Travis Head is a left-handed Virender Sehwag. I put him in that class. He technically is not so great, but he can demolish an attack. And he's fearless. It's Travis Head. But you go in, so you will have to discuss it.
Well, we have to talk about cricket. So you won't be there, Lobby. Enjoy your turkey. What we have to say. Enjoy your turkey. Don't eat too much because it's late in the night. You don't eat too much food.
No, last but not least, you see this recycling talking about Bravo. I have, whether he's there or not there, I will not miss him.
No, that's not the point. The point is not about miss. If you're going to do so, you have to do it properly. If you have a competition and people perform,
the man for outstandingly, but
is it the first time? Is it the first time somebody has performed and been dropped?
To that extent, no man.
But the point is that you know what makes it look stupid. His reasoning is that
I don't hear Hens at all.
Well, no, his reasoning is that you're looking at the 2027 World Cup.
27 World Cup.
Now, Bravo is 44. But you pick a man, Otley is 80 months younger than
Exactly.
and you bring back what's his name, Dorich,
Bravo 34.
34.
Well, man has a lot of years left.
Dorich has been brought back. He's 32.
Dorich has been brought back. Yeah.
Otley playing for the thing. He's 33
So his
years.
doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm telling you. His reasoning doesn't
He
add up.
doesn't reason properly.
It does rubbish.
I tell you,
rubbish.
I've heard him from the outset trying to justify or whatever he does his selections. I don't find he has good reasoning.
Rubbish.
Rubbish.
That's rubbish.
Very weak bowling attack, Sebastian, West Indies.
Well, we'll see if the first match next Sunday.
I think
Next Sunday.
Bravo's wrongly treated, man.
Yeah, he's got the most runs. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
And he's
see,
only 34.
Yeah. So
Sebastian,
uh-huh.
I'll tell you one thing is this. What Irvin Shillingford went through, I am not talking about this guy at all. I know what they have done to the players in the OECS. I stay very quiet on that.
Anyway, so much for that.
Okay, Lobby.
All right.
Enjoy yourself. And we said, don't drink. If you're drinking wine, drink it moderately. Don't drink too much. Yeah. So we take our first break.
All right.
Also,
Yes,
before we take the first break, Mr. Louis gave me some goodies for you.
Yes.
Your Zaboka,
The great Whitnell.
Whitnell Louis.
Yes.
Oranges. You have some
Oranges.
oranges.
Boy,
you have some lovely
that should
oranges.
be like good gold.
Well, you have some lovely oranges and Zaboka.
Orange.
Are you a Zaboka man?
I don't mind it at all.
Well, Zaboka is a very good thing.
Orange is good gold for me.
Well, you have some oranges. Compliments with. In fact, he gave me a special lemon for you, and he said you must drink
What?
that.
So
it's good for you.
These are my oranges.
Yes, your oranges
Mr. Louis, I want to thank you very, very much. What?
and your lemon. He said
A
you must
big-
drink
yes,
that
I've-
lemon, a special
I've
lemon
never
for
seen a
you.
lemon that size.
Well, me too. So
Yeah.
he gave me that for you, and you must drink it.
So you wouldn't discuss what he gave you.
Not the same thing. No, you
All right.
want to have the same thing.
All right.
Same thing for for two of us.
Yes.
Oranges, myself, Zaboka too.
So you have yours.
Yeah, this is for you.
No, I'm not thank Mr. Louis.
Yeah, that's what I had
Publicly.
to say before we took the break.
He's a great man. He's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
man.
So he
Not because
and
he's
you know, and also he's been punished by a lot of theft in his garden.
I imagine.
In
Yes.
fact, he was crying.
Pretty dear lassie.
He actually was crying.
Crying.
He had a 90-something-year-old
Yeah.
man crying. His produce had been
a
looted.
non-Nigerian, 90 years.
Right. His produce had been looted.
Yeah.
And you know, and that is what the police must do. You know, go in the market sometime and question people where they're getting their stuff to sell.
Yeah.
There is a man who's working hard. And you know, he alone is on his farm.
And
You
he
know.
works himself, boy.
But right now, he doesn't even have workers. He alone. He's there on his farm at his age.
And he had some birds giving him trouble too.
Birds and loot, and well, the
Carrots or
worst
whatever.
thing is human beings were
Yeah.
destroying him by stealing and everything else.
90-year-old farmer.
90, and he's virtually crying today.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll take the first break.
Yeah. First break.
Dominican. Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George 5th Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, the home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. We're trying to get in touch with the coach of the Dominica football team,
Ellington Sabin.
Mr. Sabin. Successful, triumphant Dominican team.
Yeah.
For change, Lockhart, in football.
Yeah. And you know, people might
It's a rarity to hear a Dominican victory in football.
in any sport, Ozzy. No. In any sport now, when you hear Dominican team, whatever sport, it blows you hate, blows you get in. But again, that has to happen. When you see what happened to a playing field, all about the place, so you expect that? People put in concrete and playing field, other people want them to use them as parking areas.
No premium shown to sports.
No, at all. People don't care. So what do you expect? So it's just a nonsense. Oh, I think we have him. We almost have him now. I think he's on the line. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Sebastian.
Okay, Ozzy is there, as you know. Ozzy, Lobby is not with us anymore. So
good evening to you.
We have with us Mr. Ellington Sabin.
Ellington Sabin.
That's the name. They call him Dunga. Dunga was this Brazilian captain who led Brazil to the World Cup victory. Yeah. So he is the coach, not was he is the coach of the national. So Mr. Sabin, we have to congratulate you.
A triumphant coach.
A triumphant coach. Good night, man. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sebastian.
Okay, I watched both games. The first game, I think Dominica played fairly well. The second game, again, maybe the conditions, a lot of rain. Tell us how you felt your team played.
Well, in the first game, we had a goal, and both games actually we had an aim and a goal. The first game being more important because of the qualification status. Although we could have wanted to draw the game and still gone through if I was in the second game, but we didn't want to take that chance. The second game, however, started off in dry conditions, and as you saw, torrential rain kind of complicated things, so it was really a little bit difficult for us to pull of victory, but we still managed to do so.
Now, explain to people out there, because Dominica was in Group C.
Yeah.
Why was Dominica in Group C? And now that you go into Group B, which are the teams that you'll be playing when you get to Group B? So explain to people out there who don't know why Dominica has been in Group C and who they will be playing when they go to the Group B.
Well, actually, Dominica started the Conference of Nations League in Group B, and we got relegated to Group C, where we spent some time. It's nice to be the coach who afforded us the ability to be promoted into League B. We're not sure who our opponents are yet because after every competition there is a draw. Because just like we were relegated into League C and got promoted into League B, there's also teams that are going to be relegated from League B into League C. So these are the countries you will play. They put all of us in a pot and then do a draw. So hopefully sometime next year we should find out who our opponents are and what group we are in.
Okay, well that's good. What next for the national team? Now that you have finished that competition, what is the next thing for the Dominica team?
Well, the national team World Cup qualifiers, it begins in March, so we expect it to continue training in preparation for those because World Cup qualifiers starts next week, March, which is right around the corner.
Oh, so you'll be calling a group of players soon and to continue training?
Very much so. There are a few additions and subtractions, but apart from that, the team shouldn't be altered that much.
So what about the overseas players? Will you have them down here to stay here and to train with you all?
That is the plan. We also have some new overseas players because as we know, when you get promoted to higher level, other persons that play in leagues like England and so on, they may get available. So after the first and the second game, I got some communication from guys who play for clubs such as Fulham and so on in the Premier League. So they are expressing interest. We just have a discussion as to what it entails because some of them don't have passports. But I always believe in the local players, so we're going to try as much as possible to keep it as local as possible and remain competitive.
But one thing I'll say to you, you talk about local, I have no issue with that, but if you look at the Jamaica team, in fact, you saw them on Wednesday night beating Canada to qualify for the Copa America. Most of their team now comprises people who are based overseas. So do you think that not having local players alone will help you to get through the next hurdle?
No, it's not local players alone. It's just finding the right balance between local and foreign because at the same time, while you want to bring in foreign-based players to add to the quality and the competitiveness, but you don't want the team to lose its identity. So, I mean, the foreign-based players, they will have Dominican status and so on, but we will always, give all local players the opportunity to represent the country because we believe they will do so to the best of their ability with all the hard work and heart that is desired and required of them.
On a lighter note, I mean, your coaching staff and the players will not be like some people for Christmas who will be waiting the dead of night to get turkey and so on, because I understood you all be getting bonuses, right?
That's what I am a tangible person, so unless I don't see the bonus, I don't see the
Well, the president said it publicly that the coaching staff and the players will be getting a bonus. So I said to myself, well, players would have to do like some people next month before Christmas in the night waiting for turkey and ham. They'll be able to buy the stuff, right?
Well, when I get the bonus, I will smile. I'm trying to get it, I don't know.
But that's good, though. I mean, if the association can recognize the hard work your guys have done and give the guys something. Because, I always say you can only play who you have in front of you. People might say, well, that can only beat BVI in total, but that's who you have to play. So, I mean... that
is a misconception, Mr. Sebastian, because to telling you, in the past, we have given things like BVI and Tex and Kekos, 7 and all those kind of big numbers. But what we don't realize that was then, and just like we are developing and we are building a team, these countries have the finances outside of the FIFA finances, and they're building teams because, and even coaches, both coaches I coach against, for example, the BVI coach has a UEFA A license that the man was coaching Arsenal Academy, Ipswich, and all those teams in the Premier League. So those guys are guys that have quality and experience at the exposure and they're using it. And the technical coach, similar thing. Those guys are pro license. We only have, CONCACAF license here, and we're not going on CONCACAF. Is good accreditation, but when you put it against a UEFA A pro license and this kind of thing, I mean, it's apples and oranges.
Well, it's a good thing you mentioned it. Now, what prevents you now from obtaining a license from that, like that then?
Well, you can only do licenses that are available to you. I mean, while we would want to do a UEFA license, but it's not available to us. What is available to us is the CONCACAF licensing program. And we take every opportunity to do them when they are available.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Savin, how's it loose here? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Lewis.
Yeah, despite the fact that your team has won the last 2 games, are you satisfied that the Dominica team as a whole is showing improvement in football, as a whole? What do you
Well, we
think?
have shown improvement in areas such as possession, creation of chances. Yes, we have improved in those areas. We're still struggling in finishing the chances that we create. While we can agree that the team also is a pretty young team, so we moved away from the usual household names and tried bringing in some youthful players to add some energy and speed into the squad, and finding the right balance between youth and experience, and thus topping the group on 10 points.
So you think you have the correct mix of players age-wise right now?
Well, everything is relative to your opponent.
Yeah.
So based on our last opponents, yes, it was the right balance.
Okay.
Going forward, we may need to make some additions to add some more quality and experience to the squad, especially in the area of finishing.
So we can look forward to more and more improvement in Dominica football, okay?
Always
Under your management. Pardon?
Sport is constantly improving. You never have to sit on your laurels and agree that you have accomplished.
Yes.
Every game, every group, every competition is a new challenge, and you have to look for the personnel that will ensure that you be successful as a coach.
Yes. Well, you sound quite positive. We wish you all the best and hope for more success for Dominica football.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. We'll talk again.
Okay, Mr. Sabin.
We'll talk again.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, good for Dominica, as I say. They're improving.
For a change here, Dominica winning, you know.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen often.
Not at all.
And I know Lobby has misconceptions say about, it's this and that, but in sport, you can only play
what is in front of
what
you.
is in front of you.
Yeah.
So with BVI, you have to play. You still
But
have
he
to-
sounds quite positive.
We have a caller, baby, the caller. Good night.
Hello?
I just called to congratulate the Dominica team. And I must tell you that Jubla have a beautiful playing field.
Yes, that's true.
Jubla.
Yes, first time I went to Jubla.
Well, Blue, you don't travel, man. You've stayed in Buffalo State too much.
Well, I was starting in that area, yeah. Call it Jubla by looking for where the Jubla is there now. Because we went to the funeral, but we went down to the Coliho church.
Oh, you been to Cobb's funeral? You went to Coliho?
Yes.
But I said,
we went by the Coliho church.
I told you it was in Jubla. Did I tell you that?
No, yeah, it's in Jubla, so we went down to Jubla. And suppose there's a beautiful house. It's like a real antique, long time, white design house. Whose house is that, Sibo?
Sibo just stepped out, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask him the question. All right, bye.
Yeah. Okay.
What you say?
Some house, she was asking about whose house. She was describing some type of white house, whose house it is.
Where, she's still there?
No, she was,
Yeah. In Jubla, I wonder which one. In Jubla, anyway. Yeah.
I think we have callers there. Hello, caller?
Right by the, what you call it, by the bridge. On the left, when you go before you take
In
down-
Jubla?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. I'm trying to wonder which one to talk about.
Beautiful white house there, because the person I went down there with you.
On the bridge itself, when you turn in left to go in the village?
When you turn in right to go down by the church area there.
When you turn in
By
right.
the,
Well, you know, that big house on your right, that's a house they used to call Maison, you know. That's where Irving and Chris and them, all of them lived before. That was their grandparents, everything. They used to call it Maison. That
it
house.
looks like a real antique.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the person I went down there, we took pictures of it. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, so because you see, you can only play who you have in front of you. And in any case, if Dominica didn't win, people will say, but Dominica can't meet this team. That would be criticism, that would be leveled. Yeah, we have
another caller. Then we'll.
Good night.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, good night, Sibo.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah,
Ozzy, you forgetting.
Ozzy. Sibo, let me tell you something. You see, we have so many good things in Dominica. And it is sad that we have to always think that somebody or something else have to come from overseas and come and do something in Dominica. We have to give our people a chance. Mr. Sabin from Portsmouth, right? If you listen to the interview, right? If you go for the interview with this man, you will see this man is a positive man and this man is a learning. And this interview, in my opinion, is one of the best football coach interview and answers I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's you know, he's open, he's humble, and he's open to improvement. And if this man is given a chance, I think this man is going to do right for Dominica, right? Because I believe in local talent. And you bring in the others, okay,
yes, you know, you get the past experience that can help your players, but you have to give your local talent a chance, and that's what this man has decided to do. And I think he's on the right track, and I think really he should get help financially. This man, I don't think has a vehicle. He's not have to be walking from Portsmouth up to Grange every day. You know, he does all the work. He cuts the park, he marks the park, he referees the game, and he still manages. You know.
What are you saying? He himself, as the national coach, have to cut the park and mark it?
Yes, he cuts the park, he marks the park.
He
walks up from Portsmouth to Grange on a daily basis.
What?
Right? You know, and he's just a dedicated person for grassroots. You know, and this man is positive. You can see the man has all the attributes. What this man is help, and we have a lot of people like that in Dominica. I mean, you know, I'm bringing people from Cakes and Kickers and all those kind of come to Dominica. They don't know our players. They don't know our terrain. They don't know, they don't know the people. Give our people our chance. You just keep. I mean, it's like Hodge. It's like Hodge, Kevin Hodge. All you have to say is put Kevin Hodge in that team and say, look, Kevin Hodge is in there for 4 or 5 games, right? So whether you do good or you do bad, you're in there. Give him a chance. You're confident because they're playing under pressure. Atenas as well. I mean, you know, if Atenas was in a team that is scoring runs, Atenas would be maybe one of the best players in the world. But every game, every team Atenas is in, Dominica, Windward Island, and West Indies. You know, if Atenas don't score, they don't score. Too much pressure on those people. Put them in there. Say, I mean, it's like the Dominica coach. Look, you're in there for 4 or 5 years. I don't even know he has a contract. Give him a contract, right? So he feels comfortable. Give him a chance to make mistake and to learn from the mistake. Give our people a chance. Stop bringing people. I was very, very pleased with that interview. And when I meet this man, I'm going to say, hey, I want to buy your beer, you're fat.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. We have another caller. I know you're going to take the
fan club.
Yeah. Good night.
Yes.
How many matches the first coach, the Trinidad coach, won already?
Well, I can't answer that. I guess somebody from the Football Association can answer. I don't know. Do you know? Can you tell us?
No, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's the Football Association.
So the prospect with Mr. Sabin look very good.
Yes,
so let's wait and see.
Yeah, but look what the caller said. The guy marking the field. Because
he's very enthusiastic.
Yes,
passion.
And his dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah. He's good. Also, before we go to the fan club, I don't know if you follow international football. Brazil, the most successful team in world football, is struggling now in the World Cup qualifiers. For the first time in the history of World Cup qualifiers, they lost by a match on Tuesday night against Argentina. In fact, there was a riot before the game where people clashed with police, and Brazil have lost 3 matches so far.
They're not doing well
at all.
Okay.
And Neymar suffered a bad injury, will be out probably till next July. Vinicius Jr., who played for Real Madrid, injury as he'll be out for the next 2 months. So Brazil really struggling now, man, in the Copa America World Cup qualifying. First time in the history of football they're struggling like that. Let's hope things get better for them, because it would be a disaster if Brazil were not to qualify for a World Cup.
Yes.
That has never ever happened.
I think we have another caller. Yes, caller?
Hello? Good night.
All right.
Don't listen to your radio, caller. Hello? The person is there. Hello?
But in Argentina, they hijack the kidnapper football in Argentina.
In Argentina or Colombia? You sure it's Argentina?
Colombia,
not Argentina. Colombia.
Right.
He played for Liverpool in England.
Yeah. They hijack him.
They didn't hijack him, they hijacked his parents. His parents, they hijacked, not him.
Yeah, but his father, they say, wanted
let him go. Yeah, his parents.
Okay, caller, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Right. See, we'll also go through our fan club. We haven't been greeting our fans for some time. Okay? Right. So just a few minutes just to recognize our myriad of fans around the globe. So Clem Fingal, good evening to you, sir. I've been from you for some time. Dr. Thompson Fontaine, BABA, Brother Randy Charles, Mr. Kent Abraham, the Cecilia Durant, Cecilia Matthew, Cecilia Coppel. Good evening to you all them work at the market. Elsa Vickers, Hominus Emmanuel, a great footballer, Hominus. By the way, I hope Ken Emmanuel, his brother, is doing much better.
Well, Jai, listen,
and Za,
he can send a message to me.
So Za, all the best to you. And Za, after answering, you asked why I like Australia. So I remember that very well. You said so on your program once, and you'd like me to say why I like Australia so. I'll spend 5 minutes on that later on, if I have the time. Okay, so I hope your brother Ken Juice is doing quite well. Now, Erica in the Big Apple, good evening to you. And Clances is from Salisbury, and that's a very avid Australian fan. In fact, as Australia won the World Cup on Sunday, she called the first person to call me. I got many calls. Yeah? People are doing that. Of course, I love the Australian way of cricket for many, many years. So Clances, good evening to you. Now, Dr. Blessings, famous philosopher, the Aristotle of Dominica, I call him the Socrates of Dominica. Whatever people say, I think Blessings is doing a fantastic job, and I admire his depth and his tenacity and his fearlessness and his everything. So, Blessings does that. Jenny Vanterpool, good evening to you. The Harper Edwards and Clinton Antoine from Faucole. This guy has always listened. They're avid listeners. Dr. Emmanuel Finn from Washington, famous dental surgeon who hails from La Plaine. Great fan of sports rap. Louis Robinson, I call him King Louis, Emperor Louis of France, Louis XIV of France. Peter Bolin, Bucky, hope he's doing well. Bucky, of course, has turned 90 and still doing quite well. Bolin Peter. From Newtown, famous guy, Dr. Justice Irvin Andre, this great erudite man, and out there in Canada, I'm sure he's listening, doing such a fantastic job. And I wish you a good evening as well. Elizabeth Peter, one of our ardent fans, especially the tennis segment. Dr. Vivian Moyes, all the doctors, Dr. Hendricks Paul, famous doctor. And people like Bogo Roy, have heard from Roy for some time. Bogo Roy, good evening to you. Teresa and Dennis Polidor of Canada. Well, Teresa, she had lost her husband, and I commiserated with her. And through Dave Lloyd, Dr. Dave Lloyd, his son, now he lives in Canada now. Dave Lloyd.
In fact, somebody asked me for him yesterday. I told the person he had migrated.
So Dr. Dave Lloyd, he has migrated, and he's a great fan of sports rap. So I'm sure he's listening. And his mother, Teresa, who lost her husband recently. Again, I offer my commiserations. So Dave, I'm sure you're listening. I wish you.
She died in New York, though. In New York, his mother. She was in New York, wasn't she?
No, his mother's alive. His mother's husband. The husband of her mother in Canada.
Okay.
Teresa Lloyd, and then is Blue and of Bathurst State, and Elman, Blue level. Rambo. I haven't seen Rambo for some time. Lockhart. He's been around, but we haven't seen him. Ninja Henderson, Claudian Pat Gis, Felix Leslie from Portsmouth, and I'm sure he's listening to this. Andy Carter, Billy Amor, man from Hodges, great tennis player. Table tennis, I should add, not just say tennis, table tennis. And people like Roy James, Macmillan's boys from Faucole. Again, I say hello to Dr. Dave Lloyd. Wayne Noddy. I haven't seen this guy for some time. I wish you all the best, Wayne Noddy. And let's see again. Thomas Louis, the son of the great Whitney Louis. And of course, we have already greeted and thanked Mr. Whitney Louis for his generosity. And once again, we can take time out to thank this great farmer from the coast, Mr. Whitney Louis. Then there's Julius Cobbett. The man has been converted, Julius Cobbett. And since there's been a bit more
aspiring to be this preacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he has chosen the correct path, you know.
You think so, Ozzy?
Yeah, after all these
Okay.
years, he's found his way. Correct. Bradley Joseph and Bradley Roy. Don't you think so? Yeah, no, that is the best thing for oh yes. Peter Pross. Good evening to you, Peter Pross. I haven't seen you for some time. And Mr. Tyson Johnson. How can you seem to be amused by that, man?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
You can't picture Julius Corbett
As a preacher, no, let you see what I mean. Can you imagine him on a bike or preaching to his congregation?
Yeah.
Comment.
I think he's doing a good job. He has the gift of the gab. So I think he'll do good. Mr. Tyson Johnson, good evening to you, sir. Ozzy Walsh and Ozzy Walsh. Well, a belated happy birthday to Ozzy Walsh. He has his birthday the same date as mine.
Okay.
He's born the same day, the same name. We live in the same street.
From the same area too.
And going to the same profession. So there's so many things in common, Ozzy Walsh and myself. Glenn Ducre, Boyo Seaman, Shirley Mills, Michael Murphy, Vivian Alcendo, let us see, Mr. Newton, Charles J. Newton. We haven't heard from Norman Shillingford for some time.
I haven't heard him. I
In
hope
months.
he's okay. A long time.
Norman-
If I haven't heard him nowhere.
Months.
I haven't heard him anywhere.
Nothing at all, yes.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
Because nowadays you just hear people just popping out.
Yes,
I
indeed.
hope he's okay.
Yes.
He said he's always listening.
Okay, well, let's hope he's okay.
Norman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Let's say Robertson Laura, Angelo Joseph and Joseph Mann of Bathurst State. Joseph Mann, a great fan of this program. Bolt, hope you're in good health. Bolt, trying your best. I really got some misfortune recently. I hope you're doing much better. Spy King, a fellow called Remy Anselm from Newtown. Hoggy, Brian, there's Jerome John Lewis from Scots at Soufriere, fisherman, the Incense Man, and let us see, we're going on down the road, Mr. Titus Simon, the great Ted Daly and his wife Heffy. Good evening to you all, the Terror Ted Daly and his wife Heffy. Always listening, constant listeners. Bennett Austrie, my schoolmate. I wish you all the best. Mr. Ozzy Aline, I haven't seen you for some time, Carew, but I think it's around. Sister Roach from the hospital. Edincourt St. Val. How are you doing? I haven't heard from him for some time.
Yeah, Doctor, yeah, he too, yeah.
Yeah, Edincourt, I hope you're doing well, Edincourt St.
Yeah,
Val.
we haven't heard him.
John L. Charles, that's not John Charles Hoffman, the pharmacist who passed away some years ago, but John Charles who was in Switzerland as a bodybuilder. I haven't seen him for some time too. He used to work at the Treasury years ago. Son Leslie, Dr. Warren Stanford, Pastor Ivo James. There's so many people listening. Mr. and Mrs. Laurier, Albert Gabriel, good evening to you. The man from La Cousette Lang, Arundel Thomas, doing a fantastic job. Good educationist. There's, let us see, guy, the Social Security staff, I know all of them listen to our program. The Ice Pop Lady, and a few others. And I think I'll stop there. Look at the, I'm sure you have some greetings to extend to your myriad fans who always love to hear.
Well, in fact, when I was coming here this afternoon, I met two ladies and they were speaking and I didn't even know they were. So I heard him saying, "Oh, Ozzy and them always talking about they forget we listen." So I look back at this, look at the smile. So they say we don't listen to it. I say, well, we can call everybody. We can call everybody. So good night to you, ladies.
Yeah.
And they tell me they like the way we laugh and everything. So good night to you all. You all know yourselves. Good night to you all. Yeah. Let's say good night to Pat and Gerald Corbett in Portsmouth and Bloated himself and Hillary. Good night. And Miss Jonah up on the hill in Jubla. I know you're listening. Good night to you. Good night to you. I hope you had a good night. Sorry in the funeral on Tuesday. Look very well, though. You look very, very well. Yeah. People can call you like Frances and Barbara and Kenrick, Robes, all these guys, Jerem, Eddie, all these people listening. And Skip, my bro, I hope you're getting all right. I hope things okay down in Miro down there. I mean, the people in Salisbury, like Miss T, I haven't seen you for a while lately. As you say, Clancy herself and Annan Hezo. A lot of these people. Selma, good night. A lot of these people in Salisbury. In fact, Ozzy, like I said, they talk about temporary and permanent. This bypass, you don't know the building now, the Salisbury. I see them look like they're going to pitch it. So it looked like that could be permanent because I see no one. Yeah, that's how Dominica is. I mean,
Yes.
look at the road in Maho and it's just a nonsense going on.
Yeah.
And well, that's how Dominica is anyhow.
Yeah.
So, Wadix, good night. I know my bro, you
Oh, yeah, a
listening.
fellow called Macpherson. You know, this guy, he always listens to us. He loves to hear.
Well,
He loves your quote-unquote politics too.
well, not politics. We always talk about what's happening in Dominica.
Yeah.
We started first because when you talk about the lights, it's something happening.
Yeah,
Sports,
yeah.
the lights, the playing field at Portersville. It's not politics. It's politicians playing the fool. That's all.
The issues of the day.
Issues of the day. We deal with the issues of the day when we start. So it affects everything. And you know, people scared of talking about politics or the politics affects everything, particularly in Dominica.
From the cradle to the grave.
Everything in Dominica, because look like one guy decides everything. One guy decides that they say about he getting a bigger salary, and then he says, well, you know me already, I would say no. I mean, like you think you can fool people with rubbish like that? I mean, come on, man. Anyway, Wadix, good night, and Nurse Dalrymple, good night. How are you? And when we have to talk about the people having in fact, I heard from Vivian Rene, he and his daughters and having a big Thanksgiving dinner tonight. And Fortney down in Texas, I mean, Derma in Houston, Jerry and Jennifer, Paben himself. Well, you know, Ozzy Paben will be having a hell of a meal tonight.
Paben,
Paben having like 3 turkeys, 2 big chickens and so on. Paben having a hell of a meal.
Heavy eater.
Well, you said already, Paben, it look like your fella eat about 15 meals. So Paben will be having a big meal too in Miami. Paben, good night. Enjoy yourself. It's your time, Thanksgiving. All you guys enjoy. Saidi, I haven't heard you for a while. Good night.
We forgot to mention the great ASP Wicks.
Wicks running every morning.
Pre-retirement.
Running every morning.
Wicks, we wish you all the best.
And you know he has his long beard now, has he?
Wicks has a beard
Yeah,
now.
he has his beard. He's running everybody.
Well, Wicks, I haven't seen if your beard, the new look Wicksy.
Yeah, running. Miss Geraldine up in the valley, I heard you not well. I hope you get better. And Tracy and Henry, all the people up there.
Before I forget, I'm saying hello to John Blanchard and the crew.
Oh, all of them and Washburn Coffee.
Washburn Coffee. Because I do listen to them all the time and they always greet us. Talk about us as well. So we should reciprocate and say we do listen to them as well and appreciate their program. Yes.
Yeah, and Glenn up in the valley, Glenn and Jofa. Good night to you guys. And also we have so many people. We can't keep because some of you even forget it.
Yes, there's so many
people you have to
Pamela
call.
Gordon, I forgot that name again.
Oh, that's the same lady. She met me, and that's why
Pamela Gordon, good evening
that
to
you don't call her anymore.
Yes.
And everything. And JB the Juice Man and Dodol. We can't forget
Dodol.
You know, he eats his biscuits early, he puts his powder, and as you said, Johnson baby powder.
Johnson's.
Dodol, you might have to order a cartoon of Johnson baby powder. You might have to order a cartoon of powder, so you have enough there. So after you bathe early, about 2-3 o'clock, you powder, you get your biscuits, and you get yourself ready.
And don't forget your friend Edison James, of course.
He always listens.
Always listen.
In fact, I feel sorry for an old man like that.
Well, he's very, vibrant still.
Not only that, the man has all his faculties.
Intellect is sharp, man.
Sharp. And then to have a man like that coming down to Roseau, and when he gets there, they talk nonsense about magistrate not there, and then you have a guy
leave, no more contract, all kind of flippant excuses. Have people coming?
But you know, Ozzy, Dominica Justice. Sorry to you, a magistrate. It's not good, you know.
Nobody can have somebody coming to 9-10 times and you can start the case, man.
Magistrates have dictated what they're supposed to do, you know, and that is I can say that boldly. They're dictated. People have been arrested, slept in the cell, and next day people know how much money they have to pay, you know. No, that is a fact, and people can come and want to arrest me, and I will tell them, I'll declare. I'll declare. That happened in Dominica. To me, Dominica has no justice. Court case, certain people, their cases will never be called, or they find them quick to bring them before the court. No justice. A badly governed place in Dominica. Man.
I mean, these guys have these cases hanging over their heads since 2017, you know.
6 years now.
6 years.
Up
and
and
we
down.
can't even make any progress at all.
Paying people loads of money.
That's
up and down, going down like that. And how, I mean, that is just a nonsense in Dominica.
Yeah.
Rubbish. No justice at all in this place, man. Honestly. Really, really. People that living in a bad place, honestly.
Anyhow,
yeah.
so
we have to move on.
All our fans, good evening to everybody we have missed. So we still want to recognize you and thanks for your support. Right. So
Well, look like me saying we have to take a break now.
it's 7:18, take a break when we come back.
Cricket till then.
It's 5 minutes on tennis again and go to cricket. Just about 2 minutes on tennis.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Fish Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. I just omitted inadvertently to mention my friend Loftus Durand and one or two others, of course. Swinging Janice, my favorite girl out there in Canada. Swinging Janice, good evening to you. And Loftus Durand. So, yes.
In fact, 1 minute, let me. Ozzy Zai is saying Kenny's doing much better.
It's great to hear that.
That's nice, good news. That, thank you for that. Good
Thanks
news.
for that news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ozzy, one other thing I forgot to mention. You remember they had this incident in Collier when the young lady lost her son in the sea, the drowning incident.
Oh, yes, that drowning incident.
No,
yes.
when it happened, it was a Sunday. It happened the day after we heard a press conference where it was said, I want to empathize with the people in Collier, and soon I will be visiting the young lady.
Yes.
Up to this day.
No visit.
No visit at all. The young lady buried her son, and she on her own. And I just find that's the problem. These people lie, they
Yeah.
say things to try and
Yeah.
play the care.
Yeah.
It is months now,
Yeah.
up to now,
No visit or
no
stayed.
visit. And the young lady, on
Yes.
her own, she buried her son.
Herself.
And let me say good night to you, Miss
Yes,
Williams. Good
indeed,
night.
Yes,
I
yes.
hope you're okay.
Yes.
George, good night. I know you're listening as well. But you see, big news. Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
know,
visiting
yes,
you.
yes.
And it's months.
Nothing
Up to
else.
now, not one visit. We have a caller. Good night.
Good night, Sibo. Good night, Mr. Lewis. Good
Yes,
night.
yes, good night.
Dodol, man. Dodol.
Oh, Doddle, the famous Doddle.
Yes.
You
Dodol,
all
we
remember, you all remember the question last week?
What was the question, Dodol? Tell us now.
What Australia and England?
We come to that in the next half
Dodol, did you
hour.
drink some wine on that on Sunday?
What did I tell you all?
Yeah, but what did you drink after that? Did you celebrate?
Yeah, of course I do.
So
I
you-
do.
you- when you
because
didn't-
I
you didn't
know-
eat biscuit?
I know Australia is going to beat India, you know.
You
I
didn't,
told you that.
Doddle,
you,
you're back.
you didn't eat biscuit and drink coffee. You were drinking something else.
But I have my coffee and my tea right here.
Oh, you
I
have?
was stupid.
Well, Doddle, you're back in the right horse, man.
How's the family? Everybody okay?
Yeah,
Not
man.
bad,
Yeah,
not
man.
bad.
And you okay? What about you? You okay? You
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, man. Everybody okay for the time.
All right. Good. Good.
Okay, tell Lobby and...
Well, he's left us. He's gone to eat turkey now. He was unfortunately he's going to eat turkey and macaroni. Things that are not good for people.
Okay,
All right,
Doddle,
man.
I hope you enjoyed the World Cup final, man. Okay, good.
Yes, I'm enjoying that.
You enjoyed it, Australian victory. Okay.
Okay, take care. All
Okay,
the
good
best.
night. Look at there's one guy, Hugh Pinard.
Oh,
I want to say hello
Coden.
to. Coden.
good. He's here?
No, this guy called me a week or two ago.
Coden. Where is he? He's in St. Kitts?
He's somewhere in Florida.
Well, you know he has a house in St. Kitts, yeah?
I know he had a
Yeah,
house.
man, he has a right on the beach in St. Kitts.
All right, yeah.
I know the apartment. I know it. Yeah.
Coden, the guy I grew up with,
With,
we were about
Coden.
the same age, same area, we went to school together. So he called me surprised because I hadn't heard from him for some time.
Coden.
I told him I have my program. He was very interested.
I've
We
seen
spoke
him
for a
for
long time on the phone.
Mm.
He's my school friend from years. Well, we grew up together at Newtown, Coden.
We have a call on the line.
So I want to wish
Good
him
night.
good evening to Coden, to Hugh Pinard.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah?
Good night. How you doing, man?
Good, good.
Sibo and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's up?
I'm a regular listener, man.
Okay, okay.
Let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I heard you talking about playing the field, but you must take a drive down to Castle Bruce.
Well,
Well,
tell
okay.
us, tell us.
No, come and see for yourself.
The
I
play-
would like you to see it for yourself.
But the Casabras field, when I work in sports division, used to be one of the main fields in Dominica.
Yeah, lovely
Right.
field.
You mean it has deteriorated so badly?
Yeah.
You need to come.
I
You need
think
to
they
come
have
see it for yourself.
encroached on it, I think.
Yeah.
Or something.
They have houses
I know.
close by it. I know they do. Go ahead, go
I
on.
know Ozzy might not be able to come. I don't know if you can come, but you need to come and see it. So then you can, when you see it for yourself, then you'll be they have made it a place where there'll be a disaster one of those days.
A disaster.
Why?
Well, all our
And that is the
fields.
problem, you know. So how are you going to develop proper sportsmen when every field? Look, you're telling me now that field is in a mess. You keep telling me that now.
It's a very big mess.
Yeah.
Can come and see for yourself.
Okay.
Now, number two,
Mhm.
I want to talk about the West Indies selection.
Mhm.
And I heard Mr. Dr. Haynes talking some crap saying
Yeah.
that Bravo at 35 years. So because of that, they are looking forward to
So
build
next
the
World
team
Cup and
bring
so
them.
on.
What I'm
First,
saying is that you have a tournament coming, you have a series coming up now. Bravo just top the batting. You are leaving out Bravo because you have 35 years. I mean, come on. What are you telling the man? What are you telling people? That in a couple of years from now, since a man reaches 30, he's going to live pretty or 25. Because you say there is no hope for him again.
Haynes doesn't make much
Okay.
sense when he
And
speaks.
this is wrong. So how you going to have a lot of young guys without experience? And then you'll keep losing and losing and losing.
No, but
And
he's
then
purely
I
a
think
batsman. He's not a bowler to say.
You know, a
Yeah,
fast
yeah, he's
bowler
not a
who's
batsman.
breaking down.
Yeah.
He's a batsman. He can play for 6 more years.
No, but the argument it defeats when you what he's saying makes no sense
Call-
because
Same
because
age
you're
with him.
picking people who are almost the same age.
Yeah.
And they're just making their debut. And so and you bring in
Yeah.
that Dorich, who is not much younger than him.
I'm telling you, bringing back Dorridge.
Bringing back
Dorridge.
Dorridge. I'm happy for Dorridge, but still,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
been
happy
away
for
for
Dorridge
so
myself.
long.
Yeah,
Dorridge is a bit
Yeah.
He's a bit
well, yeah, I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But
So-
it's a nonsense, really.
And that is just nonsense. But I think the selectors must begin to look at the game and look at winning and not just. I mean, I'm just saying I have no problem in them grooming Afanas and
Casey Cathy, yeah.
But I think Cathy played so bad in the tournament, man.
Well, he had a bad. But in all fairness, in fairness to him, he did the last match he played for West Indies, Sri Lanka in the World Cup. He batted well. I mean, in all fairness,
Right,
yeah.
I agree, but you can see he lacked some confidence in this tournament. He lacked some form.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you shouldn't pick him, but you should bring in Bravo, the man who top the
I
scoring.
mean, not just because he top and he looked like
I mean,
a class
that wasn't
batsman.
good at all.
You
And
look
you
like
just put Alzari. Alzari just
That I don't understand.
Vice
Put him as
captain, yes.
That is a nonsense. I don't understand that one. I don't understand that at
Alzari
all.
vice
come
captain.
on.
I don't understand that at all. How
Oh
was
my
that even
God.
vice captain? I don't understand.
No,
I have played cricket all my life, and I've been studying cricket, listening to cricket, and I'm very knowledgeable about cricket. I'm seeing, man, these guys are just on the way to kill cricket in the Caribbean instead of reviving cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
Colin.
right, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for your contribution, man. We appreciate it. Good. It's 7:29. Yes, Darren Bravo has given a raw deal. There's no doubt about it. He was the batsman of his entire tournament in Super 50. And last year as well, he was in great form, Bravo.
You mean Darren Bravo?
Darren Bravo.
Yeah, but also his point, he just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
To talk about, and the same breath, he's talking about we don't have many players to choose from.
Yes.
So if you don't have many
He
players,
said all that.
He said all that.
Yeah.
So you contradicting yourself
Yeah.
because age shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
If you don't have many players, you can't be talking about people have age.
I find he's been making some faux pas all the time on Haynes.
To me, that's not making sense.
To
To
me.
be better, you just stay quiet. Sometimes you better stay quiet.
Like when he had this fellow talking about the Lewis guy from Trinidad.
Evan
He
Lewis.
met him, he spoke to him.
And then he said he's
Also-
ready, and then he picked him.
The way he spoke about that was something so immature. I couldn't believe it. There's Haynes is not a
These things makes no sense. And
Yeah.
as I say, the West Indies do not have plenty people to choose from. And you know, we're not even here now. Puran is not in the team. They have made no statement why he's not there.
Puran is not on the team.
No, Jason Holder is not there. Kyle Mayers is not there. We don't know what's
Oh,
happening.
yes, Kyle Mayers was on the team.
Just no comment
Yes.
as to why they're not playing.
Right, that's a point.
So that's the other thing. The PR is bad.
Yeah.
No communication. So people can only be just saying things in their mind because the board is not coming out and saying why are these players not selected.
Kyle-
Odin Smith,
Yes.
Rodman Powell. Because we know soon the IPL draft is coming up. We don't know if the guys are in
Who's
there.
captain in the ODI teams now?
Shea Hope.
Oh, Shea
Shea
Hope.
yeah. Shea Hope. So we just don't know what's happening. We can only speculate because you don't know why Holder is not playing or Puran is not. And Puran played the final for Trinidad.
I can understand. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true. That's
so
true.
you don't even know what's happening. We have
Do we have a caller?
Yeah, many, more than one.
Yeah. Hello. Yes.
Good night. Good night.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, how
Hello,
are you?
Elizabeth.
All right. Ossie,
Yes, ma'am.
congratulations, Papa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Australia. But
Yeah.
it started badly. How you were feeling when it started?
Well, I said at the beginning that they look like a team or a group of people who would have preferred to be on a beach or be on the beach than playing cricket. It didn't look like the Australian team. They were dropping catches. They were misfielding. There was it didn't look like a team that
I think they look like a bunch of geriatrics.
I couldn't believe that was Australia. And they dropped many catches in the first two games they played against India and against
Okay, Steve,
Go ahead, yes, yes.
Everybody talking about Bravo. I agree he should be on the team. But you know what? Let us strike a balance. You see, when they had put Fletcher as captain instead of Athanaze, I say Athanaze because he said that is how to pronounce it.
So let's
Same
see, yes,
Athanaze.
yes. Athanaze.
Yeah, that when the commentator asked him, how did he said Athanaze? So
Oh.
let me tell you, to strike a balance, I agree Bravo should be there. But you see, let us strike a balance. When Fletcher was captain, I hardly heard a lot of people talking about Athanaze should be there. You see how they like people outside than our people? You understand what I'm saying? When they do things to our people, we must also talk. A few people, but I hardly heard anybody saying Hassan they should have replaced Fletcher.
No, when we said that here, I said that Fletcher should not have been captain.
I think we did mention that. Yes.
Go on.
Elizabeth? She's gone.
No, but we did speak about that. In fact, I was shocked when I saw Fletcher was named the captain. Another caller, good night.
Hello?
Yeah, good night, Ozzy. Good night, Sibo.
Yeah, good evening, yes.
The Cassibus playing field will always be that way, because Lorinban is not there anymore, And Ozzy and Sibo, you all heard what the Prime Minister said about the Winter Park Sports Stadium, right?
No,
about
the lighting. Go ahead, tell us. You tuned in late, go on.
Right.
Some time
ago, one of the ministers said that they had a problem with the first contractor, so they get another contractor to finish the project. Now the Prime Minister come on radio and say there's a hold up. And then he began to say about there was a problem and some contract basis and whatever they signed to the whole thing that was said before, that it was going to be continued and it would be finished for whatever time they said. Now it's a different story altogether. It's just lie and lies and lies upon lies. So what a country, brother! What a country.
Okay,
Ozzy, they should have a forensic audit, about that thing in the Windsor Park.
Yeah.
This thing is a whole bubble
lighting scandal,
full-face lies from the start. The thing started, right on that program. I knew something was wrong. I mentioned that many times, and everybody don't hear that about the lying excuses according to the Mighty Sparrow. People just come with bold-faced lies like that. And they know they're lying. They know. They should have a forensic audit about that damn thing in the Windsor Park.
We have another caller. Yes?
Yeah, good evening to you, Mr. Ozzy and Mr. Lockhart Sebastian.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you, my bro?
Evening.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, I see Berkey on Monday. The man look like 16.
You saw Berkey on
the
Monday?
Man walking down from DBS Radio to go to Newtown.
What? That's a fantastic, man.
I tell him I must give Ozzy the joke tonight.
All right.
So also he listening.
Berkey always listens,
and
man.
Berkey upstairs is good. That's the important thing. Upstairs, up in the head. He's okay.
Yeah, man. The man's
coherent.
Man. Have a blessed evening.
All right,
Thank you, man. Berkey's a great guy, man. A great guy.
More callers. Good night.
Hello, yes.
Boy, I so vexed, fellas. I gonna take a little evening nap. By the time I wake up, I say, look at that, I forget my partner and them. Boy.
That's all boy, blessings, man.
Gentlemen, blessings to you all. What's up?
Good night,
okay,
good night.
Mr. Socrates. Okay, good.
You know when you run out of lies, and that's the thing, the inconsistencies in your utterances when you're a liar.
Mm-hmm.
You run out of lies, you run out of tricks, you have no more. And then you become even more and more obvious. Can you imagine?
Yes.
The highest shareholder in Domlec going to purchase generators and have it listed to Domlec. And all you know the government is one man. Could it be the billions you steal from Dominica? You have to find a way to have it even multiplying more and more by further exploiting the suffering and poor people of Dominica. That is criminality beyond definition. Blessings to you all, gentlemen.
Okay, blessings, man. Thanks for your contribution.
Well, even that too, we will more callers also, we have to take them.
Yeah.
You have to laugh in this. Good night.
Hello?
Hello. Bonsoir.
Oh, Mr. Maynard.
Good evening.
All right, Mr. Maynard. Well, today is your day because you have your good godson. I call him your godson, Bravo. There has to be something to you. I'll say godson. Right?
Oh,
I will say up front that you got a very raw deal and you're justified if you yourself want to speak about it in the hash terms you want. I think you'll be justified in what I think you're going to say tonight about how Bravo was treated. Okay?
I wasn't really clearing you that clear. It seems I don't know what really is the problem with the line, but I think you're asking the question in reference to Darren Bravo.
Darren Bravo's omission to me is a glaring injustice. I'm saying so up front. And the reasons given for his omission make no sense to me because it's self-contradictory, hearing from the chairman of selectors, Mr. Haynes. So I just felt that you'd be justified if you took exception to the way he was treated, he being your godson and other things. Okay?
Well, I just want to say that you have hit the hammer right on the nail, and that is even an understatement. But I want to say that to me, Desmond Haynes is a regional and international embarrassment. I really do not think that he has the capacity.
He hasn't got it.
To really hold this position. It's not everybody who play the game can teach the game, can manage the game, coach the game, right? Mm-hmm. It's not everybody who play the game. That's why you will not see all former sports the cricketers go into broadcasting. Mm-hmm. Some of them even go into it because they happen to play the game, mm-hmm. but they definitely do not have what it takes to even be on radio.
You're very correct. Very, very correct. Oh, yes.
When I listen to many of them, I mean, it's just really, really sad. I mean, as I always said, donkey has no cause in horse race, right? And whatever you're good at, you can continue to build on that because everybody have their blessing, their skills, you know. The pluses and negatives, positives and everything. And what I am not good at, you know, I will stay away from and let the expert, so if for instance, if I need something done on my vehicle, I go to the expert. If I need anything to do with law, I go to the expert. Anything to do with medicine, I go to the expert, you know. So whatever expertise that you need, you go to whoever is best capable of delivering. And who is best capable of delivering right now when West Indies, imagine that Desmond Haynes also was in charge of selecting the team to put us in a position where we did not make the World Cup. Imagine that is part of his legacy. From since he came on the scene, I am so disappointed. I mean, not only the Bravo issue, because there are many times over the last couple series, I questioned the selection of many of the players who's supposed to be there, not there. Who not supposed to be there,
one of the most blatant things he did, the number 3 batsman's position in the West Indies team. Pick a guy who bats number 7 or number 8, can bowl at the medium pace overs, and put in about number 3 on the West Indies, Roman Riffa on the West Indies team. And people like Bonner and some other batsmen being dropped for Riffa, who's a number 8 batsman, put him to bat number 3 on the West Indies team for a long time. Now, that to me was one of the worst selections in the history of West Indies cricket. Picking Raymond Riffa as a number 3 batsman on the West Indies team. I couldn't believe it. Hence reasoning.
That's a lot of nonsense.
That's a lot of nonsense.
Bravo, after 56 test matches, with a career best of 218, with a decent average of 36.47, with 8 centuries. How many of these people in the West Indies test team that we would have witnessed over the last few series would have averaged or scored even half of 8 centuries with 17 half centuries? I mean, yes, he did not fulfill his potential and things like that. But you come into a tournament, you dominate the tournament. Dominated. I mean, look at the class. None of the batsmen, all of them put together in terms of batsmanship. Anybody who know about real class as a batsman. I sat down and I really enjoyed, the class, the exhibition, the quality and the ability of what I expected of him, as especially at his age now, at 34 and 290 days. Born the 6th of...
290 days.
Yeah, born the 6th of February 1989, and we are proud. Since he last played his last test match on 11th of December 2020. Imagine, with this kind of quality, this kind of ability and experience, and as you rightfully said, you prefer to invest with Reefer than to bring back Bravo, because just like many of the World Cup teams, some of the great players were not in form going into the World Cup. Corley, at one point in time, many people, even on this program, were thinking that his career or his form and whatever is over.
A year and a half ago, yes. I would say that.
I always say that class, form is temporary, but class is permanently. When you have the ability, and that is why, as we then next going to go into the World Cup, because I spoke about the brilliance, the domination, the experience, and the record of the outstanding Australian team. 5 World Cup win before this one. And when you look at the Australian team, you had people who are world beaters. World beaters. I have so much confidence in that guy, Head.
Travis Head. Yes.
Travis Head. Tremendous amount of confidence. And he is someone who definitely, I believe, will captain the Australian team. Well, in the future, it's going to be between him and my good how his name slipped me there, the all-rounder.
Maxwell?
Pardon?
Maxwell?
No. The young guy, he's out of the team. I always speak about him.
Who is that? Cameron Green you're talking about?
Cameron Green?
Green and Head and Lamashade. These are the 3 guys. Because when you look at the Australian team, they are very, not only experienced, but in terms of the age. Because Warner at 37 may not be in the next World Cup. Steve Smith, he may not be in the next World Cup. So you have many people who were maybe in the last World Cup, maybe Stark, the Australian bowling attack, all of them were already over 30 already, maybe around mid-30s. So when you're going into the World Cup, then most of them may not be around. But when I think about it, look at Anderson as a bowler, and England continue to give Anderson, because Anderson is a performer. He is a world beater. He has the experience, and England is saying, well, we will just give you maybe some time. I don't know when England is going to call it a day, because Anderson cannot go on forever. He should not go on forever. Maybe they will let him go on to break Jack Hobbs' record. Jack Hobbs, who is the oldest batsman, oldest cricketer to score a test 100 at 45. So maybe they want Anderson to play older than 45. But I am saying that the West Indies board got to take a stand. Because when you give people a job, and people do not perform in terms of expectation, look at the comments that you guys would have rightfully mentioned this evening in terms of players who are out of the team. Puran. Yes, because of the 2020, these guys have made the money, and these guys really do not care, a lot of them, because that is why Narayan decided to give up at 36. No, I'm sorry, 35. Before 2020 came on the scene, many of the West Indian players would have still be interested in playing cricket at 35. Nobody easily would have retired because they wouldn't have made the riches unless they would have came on the team when they were in the early 20s and like the Viv Richards and, the world beaters and so. Look at Sobers. I mean, them time is when West Indian never used to make money playing at the highest level. And I'm sorry that the greatest cricketer, I mean, when you look at the many people who would have played some matches for the West Indies, not some of them, no test match at all. But they are dead rich today. And that is why they can cut all kind of style in terms of having any interest to play for the West Indies team. Because when they can get into the IPL and get the 100,000, 200 and 500,000, as I said before, that Narayan got a call at age 24 to play for his IPL team. He got this call to play for the West Indies team at the same time, and he turned down playing for the West Indies team because he wanted to make sure that money is on the bank.
Yeah.
So just in case,
Mr. Maynard, right? Okay, let's focus now on the just concluded World Cup.
Okay.
Let's forget all this other matters you're saying now. Well, let's focus on the World Cup. Australia, as you said, have won the World Cup for the 6th time. They have been in 9 finals, right? 9 finals, and have won the World Cup for 6 times. That's correct. Good?
Yeah.
You hearing me?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going into the... I'm not for some reason...
We're looking at the World Cup.
Hearing you, but I'm
Not hearing
trying
me
to
too clearly.
follow.
Not hearing me too clearly.
Yeah, I'm hearing you a little better, but I'm straining. I don't know for some reason. Maybe the line not as clear as normal. But as you said, I think you said that we are going in terms
The
of
World
the
Cup.
World
We're going to look at the World Cup, yes.
Right.
I mean, there were a plethora of centuries. How many centuries were scored in the World Cup?
Well, I can't remember a World Cup ever having so many runs.
Exactly.
No, but there's a lot of runs.
About 20 centuries.
How many?
About 20.
More than that.
120.
Okay, Kohli had what? 3.
Kohli had 3 or 4.
Deacock had 4.
4.
That's
7.
already 7.
Warner.
Head had 2, 9.
Had 2,
Warner.
9.
You have Rahul had 1. Sharma had 1.
That's only 11.
And then you had
Ravindra
had 3 of them. Ravindra had 3. Stokes had 1.
Stokes had 1.
Mendes had 1.
Mendes scored 1. Marsh scored 2. Marsh 2.
Yeah.
That's about.
We passed with more than 20.
About 25.
They never had run. Listen, you okay? The amount of people that went past 400 or 500 runs, you had Kohli, you had Deacock, even Mitchell, Daryl Mitchell.
Daryl Mitchell, yes,
Daryl Mitchell.
Yeah.
He had a couple hundreds as well.
Right.
So plenty runs were scored.
So many runs, man.
I mean, that's why I don't understand when people talk about 50 over.
And you forget a double century from Maxwell.
Yeah. So there's no way people can tell me T20 can ban 50 over. 50 over cricket is T20s to me is a hit and miss business.
T20 has no comparison with the 50 overs.
And people talking about getting rid of 50 overs and this kind of nonsense.
T20 is a mini test match.
Yeah, exactly. It's a test of your skill.
Yes.
When you play 50 overs and test cricket,
yes.
it's a test of your skill.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I don't understand why people want to
50 overs cricket, man.
And it test cricket. I mean, and it shows, the people. Look at who making runs. People who make runs in test cricket. Look at who have made runs in the World Cup. Just look at the people. The technique and everything else. So, I mean, and the crowds are see too.
The crowds are fantastic.
And that is why, even today, there are full house today in Australia. The ground was packed in a place called Waisak. So, I mean, Australia has to be congratulated. I mean, no team, like for instance, India has dominated the World Cup like they did I mean, they didn't not
You
only
mean the group matches and so on.
not here, right? They
Yeah.
didn't only swarm the opponents;
They won every
they
match.
obliterated them.
Right, they
but,
did.
But the thing about sports, that's where sports can be cruel.
One day
there will be sadness, Ozzy, and regret,
Yes,
and
yes.
it leaves scars
Yeah.
because
you had
the thing about
you had
cricket.
people like Siraj crying on the field, you know.
Because
when
the
they
thing
lost.
like Siraj is not from a main area like Kohli from Delhi. Or so some of these guys might, they might never be in another World Cup. And people like Siraj live way in the country compared to what's in the Sharma, who's from Bombay, and Kohli. And somebody like that feels, boy, here I'm on the big stage and I want to win. But I mean, this thing leaves scars, and it lingers on. Because I never forget that 10 mil thing when we had won and they talk the nonsense. So this hurt, and that's the cruelty of sports. That you think you're going to win, and I say it leaves scars and it leaves hurts. I mean, it does some sadness and regret as well. I mean, in sports. So you have to congratulate Australia. Obviously, but when I saw Head batting, her head looked like he could have got out any ball. You saw that?
Especially the beginning.
Head looked completely at sea.
Yes, the first.
And Bumrah, he didn't have a clue.
Right.
But the wicket came and played much better.
Towards the
And
end.
that's the thing about sports. In a match, the conditions cannot change.
You have to give Cummins, the captain of Australia,
For
full marks.
for bowling first. Yeah.
Really good
Bowling first.
strategy and
That
tactics.
was a strong
Trying
move.
to bowl first when it was very dry.
And the wicket
they
wasn't the same.
restricted us in
there.
there. They couldn't score
Because
a boundary
the
for 20.
pitch wasn't ideal for stroke
Right.
play. Whereas under the dew, because later there was dew, so the wicket obviously gets some dew on the pitch.
And the bowlers could hold the ball.
Couldn't
as
grip
well.
the ball.
Couldn't grip the ball.
So that's the
Spinners
thing about
especially.
sports, that you can think, and then one bad session,
Yeah.
and you're in
There
trouble.
was no conditions, really conditions, and apply the situation to the conditions.
Yeah, that
And
could-
Cummins improved a lot as captain.
yeah,
boy.
because the whole World Cup, he and Sampa.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they didn't play Sampa today.
Oh, I don't know.
He didn't play today. No, I was watching the game and I
Alright,
saw the
I
game
know.
today.
Okay.
Yeah, but the next game I'll tell you is on Sunday. We have to take a break now. Yeah. Tell me, Sir Maynard, we have to take a break.
So, Maynard, we're taking a break now, okay?
Oh, okay, I'll
So
hold.
when we
Yeah.
come back, I just wanted to
29 centuries.
entries. When we come back, we'll have some more time. You'll just speak about the final in the World Cup, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll hold.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Dominicans, Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. We're on the home stretch, just a few minutes to go. In fact, there's about 2 minutes left in the program. When I look back at the World Cup final, when Australia were 47 for 3 and needing 241 to win, at that point, did you feel Australia were on the point of losing that?
No, but it was game on. It was game on at that time. But as I say, if the wicket changes, the wicket played much better.
47 for 3.
Yeah, India was on top at that time.
Wasn't right.
On top at that time. They were on top at that time. But we've had anything can happen. The way he played.
Labuschagne batting
and
well.
Labuschagne played well. But Head is a guy. He takes his chances. The thing about people like that, when it works, it works. Sometimes it wouldn't work. So he takes his chance and it paid off.
And Australia had faith in Head because the man couldn't play the first half of the tournament.
He had a
broken hand. And he started after around 6-7 matches. He missed
the first 5 for sure.
Right. And the man was that player in the finals.
In fact, the picker at all team of the tournament, he was in it.
Headways.
He and Sharma, they had opened the batting.
Yeah. Now, who you consider to be the single most outstanding performance of the tournament?
Maxwell's 200, you have to talk about it. I'm trying to figure about it. You have to talk about it. They have
easily.
Kohli getting to that record. You have to talk about that. That record will take a long time to be broken. To make 50 hundreds, it will take a very long time because the next person is Sharma, and Sharma will retire probably. Charlotte older than Kohli. He has 31. So the next person, Shubman Gill had 6? So you wonder who next could break that record of 50
or
100.
That performance like Maxwell, it's an unbelievable performance. Australia was 98 for 7.
It was 91.
91 for 7.
In fact, when he was dropped by the guy at square, a stupid drop, what's his name, Mujib, and he did that nonsense already before. And not only that, the boy is sky in the air to Rashid.
Yes.
So the thing about cricket, even the match against New Zealand, when they won by 5 runs, Australia.
So 5 runs, very close.
When the luck is with you, that's how it goes.
But that double century, that's the only double century in a
World Cup, not in ODIs.
No, in a World Cup.
Yeah.
No, there've been 2.
Rohit Sharma has made double 100. Rohit Sharma as well. No, in the World Cup, but Rohit Sharma has made double 100.
Yeah, in ODIs. We're talking about in the World Cup.
I think Gayle made one. Yeah, Chris Gayle made one.
And Guptill.
Yeah, Martin Guptill.
Martin Guptill, Gayle, and Rohit Sharma. Yeah. But Sharma is the only Australian to have scored a double. Maxwell, I should say, the only Australian to have scored a double century. Mr. Millard?
Hi.
We have a couple of minutes. Let's give you a whole submission of the final match and so on. Yeah. First of all, when Cummins won the toss and elected to send India to bat, were you happy with that decision?
Well, Australia, they have confidence in whatever India
not they. You yourself. Did you feel, my God, is that the correct thing that Cummins is doing to win the toss and send Australia in and send India into bat first? Did you feel good about that decision at the time?
Yes. I strongly believe that what is most important is that if you win the toss and you choose to field, it's important for you to restrict.
But that's the point I'm coming to. The risk to 80 in 10 overs. They were scoring at 8 runs per over, lost 1 wicket. That's the point. It's afterwards they restricted them within reason.
At the end of 10 overs.
Yes.
At the end of 10 overs, in India, was going very, very well. They were 80 for 2.
The predictor was saying 350, 340 mammoth scores. At that point, they were predicting that India would have got about 350, 320, 330. You saw all these predictor scores on the screen coming all the time. Or India raced to 80 in about 10 overs. At that time, India seemed to have had the match already. And you might have thought that it's coming to the correct thing to win the toss and to put India into bat. At the time, you had to be worried. When they lost the wickets and then Australia began to strangle them, you realized Australia were getting on top because they stood about nearly 30 overs. They couldn't get a boundary. You remember that? They couldn't score a boundary. Kohli and KL Rahul. That partnership was a long partnership, but no boundary. The scoring rate had dropped considerably, and Australia got back on top there. Are you hearing me?
I mean, the India team, they were going very well, as I said, after the first 10 overs, and at the end of 25 overs, they were 131 for 3. So Australia would have pulled it back.
Indeed, it did. Yes, it did. Yes.
15 overs.
Yes.
And the Indian 50 came up in 29.1 overs. Mm-hmm. At the end of 35, they were 178 for 4. Mm-hmm. And at the end of 40, they were 197 for 5. Mm-hmm. And with a decent half century from Kohli, who really was the mainstay for India. Yeah. And when you look at it, India, the best batsman in the tournament, scored the most runs, Kohli, and they didn't win the tournament. Mm-hmm. Australia, the best batsman for Australia, didn't really make any runs much to talk about, Smith, but Australia still win the World Cup. Mm-hmm. So that is to show the strength of the Australian team, where many persons would have contributed, where we would have witnessed that brilliant double 100. And you did say early on, Australia were 98 for 1. They were officially 90. You did say
97 for 8.
They were 91 for 7.
91 for 7, yes. For 7, yes.
Yeah. And that brilliant partnership between
Maxwell,
between him and the captain.
Maxwell and the captain, yes, that was a great player.
Right.
Well, I will say the single most outstanding performance for the tournament was Maxwell's double century against Afghanistan. That was the single most outstanding performance for the entire tournament.
But I also want to say that with Head, with the excellent batting from him, would be the third Australian to score a century in a final.
Yes, yes, indeed, yes.
Gilchrist would have done it, and then we have Ponting would have done it in 2011.
That's right.
Made him the youngest cricketer to score 100 in a final at age 21.
Okay, Mr. Miller, we have to end now because we've gone past our time. So just give you 10 seconds to wind up what you're saying. So,
okay, well, we just want to say that we would have witnessed an excellent World Cup started from November 15 ended and November 19 Sunday gone, and we would have enjoyed some outstanding performances, world-class performances, where we would have witnessed that double 100 We don't know if we will see anything like that before.
And that was the most outstanding performance of the entire tournament. That magnificent double century from Maxwell against all the odds.
Okay, so I will just leave it there and to say that my second team would have won the World Cup. I had all confidence that they would have done it, and congratulations to them. We wish them the very best, and we hope that at the end of it, that the players them would take the cricket seriously so we can enjoy.
Right.
We can continue to enjoy this very important game and sport that we love.
Indeed.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Okay. On that note, we end the program. Just to say, in case you missed it, Novak Djokovic won the ATP finals and beat Sinner and retains his number one as the number one tennis player in the world. And he now had a fantastic year with 3 Grand Slams and a number of other titles. So just a quick note on the tennis. On that note, we round up our sports program for the week until next Thursday. Ozzy Lewis saying, on behalf of Locker Sebastian and Mr. Lambert Charles on the console, and Low Black, who was here earlier, we say good evening and until next Thursday at 6 o'clock. Thank you.